Welcome to Venruki's 8.1 Windwalker Monk Guide. The first thing people like to know is what races are good for Windwalker Monk. In my personal opinion, for Horde, the best races is Orc. Being in stuns less and having additional burst with the Blood Fury is really strong. All of the other ones are kind of bad. Pandaren, I guess you could go if you want the second Incapacitate, but I think Orc and Pandaren are by far and away the best. For Alliance, I think Human for an extra stun break is really strong, and potentially Dark Iron Dwarf. Could go Panda again if you want, or Gnome for an extra snare break or root break, but I don't necessarily think that's the best. Void Elf could be okay if you want a little bit more mobility, but I don't think it's better than Human or some of the other ones. And like I said, Dark Iron Dwarf is good as well. So those are the best races. I play it in Orc because I am Horde, okay? The first thing people want to know is what traits are good in 8.1. Well, this is the second thing. The first thing was race. Okay, so the second thing people want to know is what traits are good. I've been running Open Palm Strike. I think with Turbo Fist, it's really strong. So you get full cleave damage on your Fist of Fury, and if you have Open Palm Strike, it just makes your consistent damage feel really good. Every time you Fist of Fury, you feel like you're actually really doing something. The only other trait I would use to supplement this potentially is Fury of Zwen. Personally, I use triple Open Palm Strikes, but there's other monks that like to use one Fury of Zwen, so you eventually get the extra burst of a Zwen, as well as some potential haste to refill your energy and do a little bit of extra burst. So those are the traits. Some of the other ones, like Glory of the Dawn, they're nerfed in PvP by quite a bit, and I just don't feel like they provide anywhere near the same value as Open Palm Strikes. For talents, you could potentially play any in the 15 row. I personally like Chi Wave because I feel like it weaves into my rotation the best to get out as many blackout kicks with hit combo as possible. Tier 2, I only play Tiger's Lust. I like the Root Break. It's good utility, keeps me high on target, or keeps me on target. Row 3, I've been playing Ascension. The extra energy, especially because we don't have as much haste. Like in Legion, we had a lot of template haste. Now you don't really go for haste anymore, so Ascension, the extra energy regeneration feels really strong. And the max energy is really nice as well. So like when you're getting crowd controlled or you don't have a high uptime on a target, you're regenning to 120 energy, so it gives you more energy to dump when you finally land on a target. For the 60 row, Ring of Peace is good utility. A lot of the time I play Good Karma because still as a Windwalker monk, I'm often the target. So I play Good Karma a lot to keep myself alive, but if you can afford it, Ring of Peace can be strong as like a ranged interrupt or a zone control. You can knock people out of Earthen Shield Totem or Barrier. It definitely has its uses, but play around between Good Karma and Ring of Peace. The next row, Dampen Harm, Diffuse Magic are the only two I really play. Diffuse Magic, if it's more magic damage I want to reduce, so against like a Boomkin Destro Warlock. Dampen Harm, if it's more like a melee cleave that I want to reduce their damage. The 90 row, I've been playing hit combo almost exclusively. Sometimes when I play Windwalker DK and I'm trying to all in with an A-bomb, Invokes 1, the White Tiger is good because you can line it up with other burst cooldowns and try to go for like a really aggressive strategy, but most games I play hit combo, the consistent damage is really strong. For the 100 row, any team, basically what I've been doing is I've been playing Serenity. I'd say 90% of my games. There are a few matchups where I don't mind playing Whirling Dragon Punch, mostly matchups where my images can't be crowd controlled. So stuff that doesn't have a lot of roots or fears or, anything that's just going to control my images a lot, because then you end up just losing damage on your cooldown. Whereas Serenity, that really doesn't happen, and it's a lot of damage, especially with the rotation I'm going to show you in a little bit. For PP talents, I find myself playing Turbo Fist almost every game. The 90% snare is just really good. You can get people caught in bad situations. If people stack up, you can really punish them by AoEing them down and snaring them by 90%. They can't move out of your fist. Also, the parry is really strong for keeping yourself alive. Turbo Fist is as much defensive utility as it is offensive. Not only are you keeping them snared to peel, but also they can't hit you because you have 100% parry. So Turbo Fist is really strong. Fortifying Brew, I pretty much play every game. The only thing I would ever change out here is potentially Reverse Harm. If I really wanted more damage, you could play Alpha Tiger if you really feel like you want to go all in. But Reverse Harm is really good for keeping yourself alive. It's good for chi generation. It's actually good magic damage as well, so it's actually decent burst on targets that have high armor, like warriors or paladins, stuff like that, druids that are in bear form. And then another talent that I often play is Ride the Wind, so I can keep my teammates out of snares. Like if I'm playing with the Disc Priest and he's getting trained down, Ride the Wind can be really good utility to help him escape. Those are only really the talents I play. I don't really play grapple weapon often. If I was gonna play grapple weapon, I'd probably just rather play ride the wind. But grapple weapon could maybe have its uses depending on what you're playing against. Never really play disabling reach anymore. Never play pressure points or Windwalker. It's mostly just reverse harm, turbo fist, fortifying brew, ride the wind, and alpha tiger. So the PvP talents. Okay, so we gone over talents, races, PvP talents. A lot of people want to know how I use my burst rotation. If you're playing triple open palm strikes, what I like to do during my Serenity, like an ideal burst rotation, I think is, if you can, in an ideal world, you have your hit combo stacked up a little bit so you get extra damage on your first Rising Sun Kick and Fist of Fury. But what I like to do is try to take advantage of the cooldown reduction on Serenity. So what I'll do is I'll in-cap, Touch of Death, then I'll pop Serenity, Rising Sun Kick, channel a full Fist of Fury, full Fist of Fury, full Fist of Fury, and then you can immediately Rising Sun Kick again, Blackout Kick, Rising Sun Kick, you can Blackout Kick again, and then you can actually Fist of Fury again at the end of your Serenity. So you can get 4 Rising Sun Kicks in and 2 Fist of Furies in your Serenity, which is really strong, and a Fist of Fury Serenity does insane damage. So that, myself, has basically the way I found to do the most damage, especially strong if people are clumped up. You can basically delete people with 2 Turbo Fists with Serenity. Some people ask me about Reverse Harm as well. Reverse Harm, you basically just press instead of Tiger Palm. It's just a better Tiger Palm. So when people ask me how often you should press Reverse Harm, if you can, remember to, on cooldown. The more you do it, the better. You're going to heal yourself for more. It's going to be more chi generation. It's going to be more damage. Just remember to press it as often as possible. Now, let's go through the little list. We talked about burst, we talked about traits, talents, PvP talents. We talked about defensives, stats. This is another thing people ask me. What stats do you play as a Windwalker monk? I think the best stat in the game for Windwalker monk is versatility. It's a lot of damage, also good survivability. So I think for a lot of classes in general, versatility is just an insanely good PvP stat. For Windwalker monks, it's no different. I try to go as much versatility as I can. And then I go mastery. I think crit is really bad, especially since the effectiveness is reduced by 50% in PvP. And in PvE, mastery and crit are equally weighted pretty much. They're very close. So in PvP, there's no way that crit would be better than mastery if it's half reduction. And in PvE, they're pretty much the same, if that makes sense. So I go versatility, I go mastery, and then whatever left is usually haste. And you can go a little bit of crit if you're forced to. Because sometimes item level and agility does win over. You're not going to be wanting to use a piece of like 340 gear over something that's like 385, you know what I mean? You don't want to lose out on that much agility. For trinkets, I like to play max versatility, so I play Dread Gladiator's Badge and Dread Gladiator's Insignia. Sometimes I'll use Dread Gladiator's Emblem against like Rogue Mage, teams that can burst me down. It can be really good in the opener for 2 reasons. The first reason is not only do you get the extra health, but there's 2 abilities you have that are based off of your max HP. Touch of Karma is 1, and Reverse Harm is 1 as well. So if you Battle Masters an opener, like say a Rogue Mage is opening on you and they want to kill you through everything, you can Battle Masters Touch of Karma, and it's going to be a bigger absorb. In addition to that, when they do break through it, if you still have your Battle Masters up, your Reverse Harm is going to heal you for more health as well, because it is percentage based. So your Reverse Harm is bigger. So that's a little trick you can do if you really want to. Also comps. What are the best Windwalker monk comps in the game? Best Windwalker monk comps in the game, in my opinion, I don't know them all for sure. I played quite a bit of Windwalker monk this patch, but the comps I've done best with personally are Windwalker Death Knight, Windwalker Elemental Shaman, Windwalker Boomkin, Windwalker Arcane Mage was really fun. I had a lot of fun playing Windwalker Monk Arcane Mage with a Discipline Priest. I thought that comp was really solid. But yeah, Arcane Mage, Boomkin, maybe Fire Mage could work, Elemental Shaman. Our Windwalker Monk Enhancement Shaman is actually not too bad. Windwalker Monk Death Knight, and I think Windwalker Monk Fury Warrior is also really good. Fury Warriors provide a lot of sustained damage, and because Windwalker Monks have Rising Sun Kick with the Grievous Wounds, the healing reduction, you don't miss out on the Arms Warrior Mortal Strike effect. All right, that's it. That's the 10-minute guide. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. Definitely keep checking out the stream. Shut up, Google! Help! All right, we shut it off. Okay, good. We're good. Anyways, hope you guys learned something. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the video. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.